Hello?
Hello, is this William?
Yeah, speaking.
Yeah, this is Steve Lukowski. I'm with the City of Fort Collins Parks.
Hey, Steve Lukowski. How's it going?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, William, I've got a note here to give you a call about you wanted some policies and for our rangers, for our park rangers.
Yeah, or just, yeah, that was kind of an old request, actually. I mean, I'm just trying to get as much information as I can about a lot of things these days.
Okay.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah, the actual policies of the Ranger Department was one of the things that I've been always after. Absolutely.
do we have like a standard operating procedures for the rangers? Kind of talks about your job description and duties. Um, you can get that. It is public information. The best way for you to get it and to keep everything, documented is through the Open Records Act over to the city clerk's office, and they'll put in a request, and then we can provide. This would be for the parks rangers and not for natural areas rangers. I did look up
Oh,
on.
okay.
I looked up on the internet, and there is an operating. Um, some information on the natural areas rangers, which is very similar to ours. That could give you some insight as well, and that's just under fcgov.com. Um,
Okay.
but
Um,
yeah, if you want to go to the clerk's office and put in a records request, it's called a CORA request, CORA,
is that,
and then
if I may ask, is that kind of like Access Fort Collins Online by any chance?
I don't know. I don't know, William, because I've never done this, and I just got this information from our legal. So I wanted to know how to properly do this.
Sure, no worries. I was just
Especially if
curious.
there's some kind of litigation, then it would be best for both parties to have an open records request.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's I never even knew one of those existed until now, so that's really good.
Yeah, and I suppose you walk in the city clerk's office, and that's at City Hall, and on the lower level, they'll tell you how to do everything. They do stuff all the time, so they can help you out better than I can. But we certainly can provide that to you once we get that request.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, and now that I think about it, well, I'll put this in the request, but I basically kind of the gist of what I had going on with the Parks Department was I was trying to figure out where they get their maps from, if they're the sourced maps for the city, and I hardly doubt that you guys are, because I've talked to Bud about it, and Jill Wirtz, she does the internal maps and stuff, so I kind of already figured all that out.
Okay.
But I wanted to, get some like official policies of like, where do you guys get your maps? How do you work with the GIS department and so forth? If there is even documentation about any of that, generally speaking,
Yeah,
it was mostly map
that's
related.
probably a good question. We probably don't have any formal process for, uh, this documentation in an operating manual with maps in it. I suppose whenever they have a question, they probably go to GIS. If Jill can't find it on our information, so a lot of time our information is just general and doesn't have like surveyed lines. So we'd have to go through GIS or request for a survey.
Yeah, no, exactly. When I talked to Jill, you guys have a lot of satellite maps, their maintenance maps, stuff like that, and she always referred to the county website, larimer.org/LAL,
Okay.
which is what I do too for like the actual parcel boundaries and stuff for like sales and stuff,
Okay.
and that evidently
Very
is
good
where,
information.
yeah, and that's evidently where a lot of your GIS is sourced from too. Over the GIS department, I think that it's all based off of at least what they've told me from the county. Because it all depends, in the end, on the sale of the actual land and the plats and the leases and stuff like that too. So there's like several layers of legal stuff to go through. But I've always just been trying to get a handle for who sources the city's boundaries, so that if there's any like discrepancies, which I caught once, I can go fix. And so far, I told GIS department about an issue, and they were actually able to fix their GIS maps. And so I feel like that's where the main source is, generally speaking, and then that's where you guys kind of get your information from and go from there. But basically, you guys aren't the official source of boundaries of park maps is kind of what I'm trying to get at, because that's what one cop in your city said one time.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah, just kind of real basic stuff. So,
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I've kind of always wanted to know, policy-wise too, if it, like generally speaking, if you guys have the same kind of policies as police do with like making reports and filling out paperwork and just kind of procedural stuff. I've always been curious since you guys are kind of pretty new department and how different you are from the police, or how similar and stuff. So, records request sounds like a great avenue. So I really appreciate the insight there.
Okay, very good.
So,
well, good luck.
But thank you very much. Other than that, we're doing okay here. We have a lot of other cases and stuff. But basically, it's funny. The city's sort of on our side, on the city's side, with like the departments, GIS surveys and Parks Department stuff. And we're just dealing with some bad cops on the other side right now. It's stupid. But, I just want to say I appreciate that you guys are still working with us on some, basic procedural stuff. That's what we like. We really appreciate this. So,
All right, well,
take it. Take care. It's good to meet you too. I think I've always wanted to meet you, Steve, over at the Parks Department. So,
all right, well,
but anyways, talk to you later. Have a good one. Well, take care.
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye.